Okay, before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Aisha Fatima from the Informatic and Computer Engineering Education Study Program with last ID number 36. On this occasion, I will present about Hayao as the producer of Studio Ghibli and the films has released through Studio Ghibli. Were the things in common between Hayao Miyazaki, Princess Mononoke, and Japan? If you couldn't figure out the answer within 10 seconds, then you're missing out quite a lot's poetic and marvelous animated world of Studio Ghibli, Japan's animation film studio, probably known by most of you. But how good do you really know this fantastic streaming animation studio? Today we will talk about the favorite fantasy world along with the award-winning best productions of all the time. That not all we will also review some fun and amazing fact about the debut, its philosophy, and the latest news that are raising concern about a possible end of its animation style, first step idea, and debut, as you certainly know, Hayao Miyazaki wasn't the only founding member of the Studio Ghibli. He actually combined effort with his friend, an ex-EU worker, Takahata, in 1985 after a very long-running collaborative career at Toei Animation Company and many other studios you might even recognize their name and the production team list labeling many hits in animation film we can mention for instance Dagi March in 1963. It was enough of reason to push Miyazaki and Takahata towards a pretzel trip for something bigger, better, and definitely deeper. Studio Ghibli craved in the first signature into animation world in 1986 with the animation fantasy adventure film known as Castle in the Sky. It was astronomical for success, the studio winning the Animate Grand Prize right after the release and taken by earning count over $150 million. Everything about the film was made with extremely care. The plot, the storyline, the character, the music, the animation, basically everything in the most specifically details. Certainly inferable proof that Studio Ghibli highest principle taking of the ancient high sky. Avoid cutting out from the quality just for sake of reducing time, research of intellectual effort created Studio Ghibli of all the time. I can see the fan waiting for some sort of apprehension of this favorite title pop out and ready fight with all his might to defend the position of the animate masterpiece. But the thing with over 20 medical and legendary production of their Studio Ghibli stand out as the Aryan constellation and worldwide animation industry, it would be a very difficult task to make a selection knowing that it's safe to consider all the produced feature film and international hit sharing the same fantastic, hazy, and charming qualities. So just reverse the number and start chronological count with the grave of the Fireflies relapse at 1988. Interior by Takahata, you can describe the plot set and tragic depiction of World War specifically in Japan's Kobe City. If you're familiar with the American review equator known as Tomatoes, you'll see that film received 100 positive reviews shortly after the huge success Takahata made with his heart-touching film Miyazaki directed screenword and release of one his great animation fantasy films My Neighbor Totoro in the same year. It even went on put the adorable and very bizarre character Totoro in official mascot Studio Ghibli since 1989. Miyazaki kept his beloved cheerful character Kiki in the Which Kiki Delivery Service animated film. If you happen to know Kiki, you probably agree with me. I find that character highly inspiring with her constant outbursts of optimism that will mixture and witchcraft humor, adventure, and really what makes films so catchy instantly bonds with the audience. Next, we can't mention Studio Ghibli without having epic flashback of Princess Mononoke, directed by and written by Miyazaki. It was released in 1997 to massive acclaim, becoming Japan's highest earning fantasy animated film and thrown in the box office for 4 years. The Wolf Princess surely showed the world what it means to be brave, combative, and bloody as hell. In 2001, Studio Ghibli released the gorgeous and dazzling fantasy film Spirit Away to worldwide ravaging acclaim. Directed and written by Miyazaki, the mastermind that made us step into enchanting world of Chihiro, won numerous awards with this title that list can obviously be extended to many other successful titles such as Only Yesterday, Arrietty, Ponyo, The Tale of Princess Kaguya, and many other Studio Ghibli almost never failed to catch us fleetingly in this pleasant, fantastic, and breathtaking animated universe. Fun fact: in recent release that other Miyazaki's fan-sisting creator and endless stars in imagination that almost make you feel like you're in a dream. He was also interested in aircraft. It was Italian recognized aircraft model Caproni Ghibli that inspired the name of Studio Ghibli, of metaphor related that insists the world meaning itself and implied the Studio Ghibli will be the desert wine that will change aspect of Japan's animation for good. Born in Tokyo in 1941, Miyazaki was the second of four sons in a flatly family. His father worked as the director of the family company which manufactured radars for fighter planes during the First World War. Since these parts were high demand during the period, this business was booming, and the Miyazaki's family was doing well for themselves. This was also a reason why Miyazaki became so obsessed with the idea of flying, exploring many of his work, but most notably with relative recent in 2030 film The Wine Race. In 1944, the family moved away from Tokyo because they feared an American attack. The traumatized experience facilitated the growth of passive views which later become consistent artistic statement. The most striking example of which in his 1984 masterpiece Nausicaa of the Value of the Wine, when he was around 6 years old. Miyazaki's mother was diagnosed with spinal tuberculosis. Although she was also passed away in 1981, she suffered cerebral condition at 8 years, and it caused extremely distress to the young Miyazaki. More than anything else, he admired her mother, a woman who fight off life-threatening disease and constantly questioning the regressive, conservative social norms at the time. This is such an informative influence of Miyazaki that it led him to use his mother's illness and narrative trope in his brilliant work My Neighbor Totoro in 1988, and also inspired him to feature strong female protagonists in many of his films. In this slide, I want to mention the top six film who have the best views on Studio Ghibli. The first is The Tale of Princess Kaguya, who released in 230, boasting narrative depth, frank honesty, and exquisite visual beauty. The Tale of Princess Kaguya is modern animated treasure with timeless appeal. The second is Only Yesterday, who released in 109,000, 1991, long-delayed US debut feels frustrating gap for American Ghibli fans, while offering fireproof of the studio's incredibly conscious commitment to quality. The second is Craft of Fireflies in 1988, an actionly set anti-war film. Craft of Fireflies is one of Studio Ghibli's most broadly beautiful haunting works. The third is Kiki Delivery Service, who released in 1989. It's a heartwarming, gorgeously rendered tales of young witch discovering her place in this world. The next is Speedway in 2001. Speedway is dazzling, enchanting, and gorgeously turned fairy tale that will leave viewers a little more curious and fascinated by the world around them. And the last is Secret World Ariety in 210, visualized, refreshingly free of family-friendly glitter and echoed with soulful depth. The Secret World of Ariety lives up to Studio Ghibli's reputation. Okay, maybe that's all about my presentation about Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. Sorry if there's a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.